Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel Gabbabetic, and welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to take place over about a month, so it's going to be a bit of an overview kind of video. You're going to see me at the start now and hopefully you'll see me at the end in a different place. I'm 1 year now on my Medtronic 780G insulin pump and I honestly love it, and I feel like everything is going well, like diabetes control, etc. on a general level, but I feel like I've kind of like put it on the back burner, let it slip up a bit. You know, sometimes life just gets in the way. Like I went on holidays for a week. I was eating lots of really tasty, probably not great for blood sugar foods. I wasn't really looking at like weighing food or carb counting exactly because I was just enjoying myself. Then I was very busy in the time before that, just with life. So I feel like sometimes diabetes just goes on the back foot, even though we're dealing with it every day. But I'm just like, oh yeah, just take this, keep going. Oh, I'm going low, drink this, you know, and I'm not really like dealing with the lows or the highs. So I want to try and get a bit better control, basically. So that's what this video is all about. We're going to dive a bit deeper into the why in a minute now. But I hope you like this video. If you do, please give it a big thumbs up, comment down below and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Should be interesting. Hopefully it works and I can improve my time in range and my control a little bit more. Basically, like I'm going to show you the graphs of my time in range at the moment, and then we're going to compare in a month from now. Like it's not bad at all. It's actually really, really good, and the pump helps a lot with that. But I feel like I haven't really been looking at the highs and the lows, and I just kind of been just going along with putting other things in front of diabetes, and I just want to take back a bit more control. Because especially when I was on my Easter holidays, if you saw my Easter vlog and possibly another vlog before that, I just kept going low like all the time. Anytime I like set foot out the door and do any exercise, I'm going low. And I'm not really like looking at the ratios and fixing that. I'm just like, oh, just take the sugar, take the sweets and get on with it. Because I just was busy, or I wanted to enjoy my holiday and I didn't want to go, oh, what carb ratios could I be doing now? Have a temp target, blah, blah. So I feel like that's what was happening. And then I was also eating crap, like, which in a non-diabetes way, I'm all for having a treat and having nice food. You've seen plenty of videos like that on my channel, and I definitely film more of those. But on a day-to-day, I want to try to eat a bit healthier and eat the same kind of food, not low carb or anything like that at all, just a bit healthier, a bit more of the different food groups for a more general healthy thing, and also for diabetes control too. I feel like that helps me if I have a kind of idea for some meals what I'm having every day. Kind of like a routine definitely helps me a lot. So that's where this is coming from. So let me show you the time and range on the laptop first, just to show you a baseline of where I'm at. Okay guys, here we go. So you can get this like really detailed information from the Medtronic Care Link, So we are interested in the time and range. So A and B. A is the 30th of March till the 29th of April, which is now. And B is the 1st of March to the end of March. So we're interested in A because that's the start of April to the end of April, basically. So time in range 85%, which, like I said, is unreal. That's still really, really good. I'm just trying to tighten the control of it. 1% low, 12% high, pretty much the same month before. Lots of information on this. Total daily dose for the last month has been about 39 units, 41 before that. So yeah, lots of stuff there. We don't need to go into all of that. What we're really interested in is if we can improve A, which is 85% time in range for April when we look at the end of May. So that will be the challenge. Let's see if we can do that. Okay, so you're like, Grand, you've talked enough about it. What are you going to actually do to change it? So I have my notes to tell you. So one thing that I'm definitely going to do is try to eat better. I've talked about that a lot. I'm definitely going to still have a treat, but I'm not going to have a treat like every single day like I was doing on holidays, and like really fatty, greasy food every single day. I'm gonna limit that hopefully to like 1 day a week. And I think that's just like a general health thing, not just a diabetes thing, but it definitely helps because I always everyone gets it. If you eat like really fatty food, like bag of chips, and when I say chips, I mean deep fried potatoes, like French fries, I guess, for anyone in America watching, you get like the initial carb hit and then you get the fat breakdown later on. And sometimes as much as you try and the pump tries, it's hard to deal with that and you get a spike. So that's one thing that I'm definitely going to try to do. The next thing is I need to, they kind of go, all these go together. I want to exercise more. I just want to be walking, and I like to do that. I have an exercise bike. I like to do that. but I need to be more prepared for exercise, if that makes sense. So I did a whole video about the temp target. Temp target is what you set your pump on for exercise mode, and I just haven't been using that enough, and I haven't been setting it ahead of time enough. Basically, temp target turns off auto corrections on the pump, and it brings your blood sugar, that it aims for a blood sugar of 8.3 instead of 5.5. So it's aiming for the higher blood sugar. It has no auto corrections, but you have to allow time for that to come into place. Normally about an hour for me when I was doing exercise, that's what I was doing. But it's just, it's so much mental load. Like, you need to know, okay, I'm going for a walk at lunchtime, 12 o'clock. So I need temp target on by at least 11. And sometimes when you're working or you're just out on your holidays, it's really, really hard to do that. And sometimes, you know, there was times in the Easter vlog when I was doing a walk, I wanted to walk a bit more, and my body just couldn't because I didn't set the temp target first of all, I didn't set the temp target ahead of time enough, and I also didn't have like a snack, so I just went low. So it's about planning too. And one big thing which I never do really, like I'm not gonna lie on the channel, like I very rarely do a pre-bolus. I need to do it for breakfast, and we'll talk about that in a second. But pre-bolus is basically where you take your insulin 10-15 minutes ahead of time before you eat, and doing that allows the insulin a chance to get working, because if you don't, basically you'll eat the food, the blood sugar will rapidly spike, but the insulin won't have started, so it won't be able to catch up with the spike, and then you go high, and then you might overcorrect, and then you might go low. So pre-bolusing is definitely something I need to do. And like, it's hard to do it when you're out somewhere, because I think that's too risky. Like, if you go out for dinner and pre-bolus and you think the food might be here in 10 minutes, no, I'm never going to do that in that situation. But when I'm at home, I can definitely try harder, and I'll talk to you about why for breakfast it's so important for me, for the way my body reacts. But yeah, pre-bolus, I'm really going to try that. They're the things I'm going to try to do in this video. I'll just be updating you throughout the month. You'll see different clips throughout the month talking about these kind of different things that I've told you about. I'll also show you the foods that I'm eating and just like what progress I'm making. So let's get going. So I want to talk to you first about the pre-bolus, why I need it at breakfast. Basically, for some reason, I'm really insulin takes a long time to work for me in the morning. So I like to have a bowl of cereal, right? If I have cereal spikes your blood sugar. We all know that. Even porridge, I try to get it to work. It will spike a bit. It will cause your blood sugar to go up, especially if they're like sugary cereals. It will go really quickly up, no matter how much insulin you take. So for me, what happens is if I don't pre-bolus, I sit down, I work out the carbs, say 20 grams of carbs. I take 20 and I immediately eat. I'll go massively high. You'll see these on these graphs here. And then what will happen is the pump will actually start to autocorrect, because it thinks I'm going high, which is right. So it starts to autocorrect to try and get rid of the high. That kicks in, I start to go low. But then the insulin from the bolus at breakfast eventually starts to work, and that also kicks in, and then I have way too much insulin on board, and then I go low. That's what's happening all of the time. Here's how we're going to solve it. First of all, the pre-bolus will definitely help. So I need to figure out the exact time for the pre-bolus. I think 20 to 30 minutes might actually work for me. I think 10 to 15 is not enough. And I'm also going to set temp targets, I think. So if I pre-bolus, eat the food, set the temp target, that means if I have that massive spike, no auto corrections can work. And then eventually, if this all works out, the bolus insulin should just finally start working and bring me down to normal level, and there should be no auto corrections to bring me into hypo. That's the hope. So you'll be seeing now how that goes. Hi guys, so 1 week in to trying to eat better, have better blood sugars, etc. So the week has been tough. It's actually really hard to not eat crap. I know that sounds so bad. Like, I wasn't eating that bad, but like I said, I was on holidays and stuff before, so it's been hard. So I've been eating really good, and it's been having a really good effect on the blood sugars, which I'm really happy to say. So I'm going to show you like some of the things during this video that I've been having. Literally right now, one of my favorite things to have for lunch is a pizza bagel. So like, I'm still having carbs, I'm still eating carbs, I'm just eating at like meal times, and trying not to eat foods that are like full of fat, like chips. When I had a lot of chips when I was off, that are going to ruin my blood sugar, spike it later on. So things like that. So yeah, I've been having these pizza bagels for lunch. I got these in Aldi here, obviously gluten-free, everything is gluten-free, and 34 grams of carbs, about 180 calories, and I make them into like a pizza bagel. So I put a bit of tomato puree and a little bit of cheese on top, and it's really good and it keeps me going. So that's one of the things I really like when they have them in the shop, the bagels. I'm so happy. So talking about time and range, that has been the biggest change throughout the week. Time and range has been up in the 90%, like almost, I'd say like 4 out of the 7 days at least, or in the 80s if not. I only had one bad day, I'll talk about that in a second, but like I'll show you from earlier today, 94% time and range. Woo! Doing so good. I haven't seen like in the 90s in a while because I was just like not really thinking about the food, not thinking about diabetes, being on holidays, being in the real world, and that's fine sometimes, but trying to reel it back in to try and have better bloods for the month of May. So yeah, I had one day. It is important to treat yourself as well. So we went to Nando's, which if you don't know, look it up. Nando's is a great restaurant. I don't know if I'd call it a restaurant, but it's a great place to get food. But I had chips there. I had chicken wings and chips. So like the chips are cooked in a deep fat fryer, so I knew they're gonna have a lot of fat, and the wings maybe as well. And also we went to the cinema. So I got cinema sweets. We actually saw the new Marvel movie Thunderbolts, really good. And I got popcorn. Sweet popcorn is my favorite. It's so, they have this honey popcorn. It's so nice. I love it, from Kyo's. And twirl bites, so chocolate. So eating chips, chocolate and crisps all together, well, like over a few hours together, really spiked my bloods. And this was my time in range the next day. So 60%. So in the 60 percentage, so you can definitely see just having a day where I have treat myself, have chips, chocolate, sweets, definitely plays an effect on my blood sugars, especially overnight and the next day. So I think it's really important to treat yourself, and 60 something percent in range, and this time in range in the 60s is still pretty good for like eating those kind of foods. But I'm just trying to be a bit more mindful, that's all, for this month. So I'm actually really happy because like I've been in the 90s for a lot of the days. I'm not going to look at the report on Medtronic CareLink until the very end of May, so we can compare, because I did a month at the start, because when I showed you the graphs at the start, that was for 30 days. So I'm going to show you 30 days versus 30 days, not every week. But so far I'm doing good, and I'll be showing you some of the other foods that I have during this week and giving you an update as well next week. It's very hard. Sometimes I really want to eat snacks because I was eating like snacks in between, and the weather's been so hot. That's the only other thing. The weather's been so hot that there have been times where the temp target hasn't been enough, because heat drops your blood sugar. And even though the pump is suspending insulin, the heat is so much, it's been dropping the blood sugar, and I have gone low. So I've had to have like the lift drinks and something small then. So, but like I am diabetic, this is what I have to do. I'm just trying to be a little bit better and get my time in range a little bit better and be a bit more mindful what I eat. So yeah, I'll give you an update in a few days, and I'll show you some of the foods that I have this week. So I want to show you guys a few of the meals and stuff. So for breakfast, these are really, really good. So these are so expensive. These are €7 for a box of 24, but they're very rarely in the shop. So when they're there, I snap them up. I guess they're the gluten-free version of Weetabix. This is my last two, but I have another box at least. So this is how they look. Very similar to Weetabix, but they're made with sorghum. And then before I put the milk in, I try to get some like fresh fruit and just put that on as well, because it's a way to get fruit in the morning. So about that, just add some milk, and then they're good to go. And then I just like mash them up. They absorb the milk pretty easy actually. And I've taken my insulin for this. It's 21 grams of carbs for this. So we can talk about the Prebolus in another morning video, because I think I've just about figured out what to do. If you remember, what I was saying is whenever I have breakfast, I spike, and then the auto corrections hit in, and then I go low, and then the insulin from, well, then the auto corrections hit in, then the insulin from breakfast hits in too late, and then I go low. It takes me ages in the morning for the insulin to get going for some reason. So what I do now is I pre-bolus, so that's my time in range. I pre-bolus, so you can see that I took the insulin, carbs 21 at exactly 8 a.m. and now it's 8:22, so I'm trying to give it about 20 minutes. And then immediately after, when I start to eat, I set the temp target for about 2 hours, and that seems to be working really well. So I'll get a spike in this time, where the pump would normally autocorrect, but then the insulin from breakfast eventually hits in. So then I go back to a normal level. I'll show you after this, but that's basically what I've learned to get to work. Now, it doesn't work all the time, but like 95% of the time. Hi guys, I'm back for another bagel lunch. But you know what? I was like putting in the carbs for my bagel because I'm trying to pay real attention, and obviously the ratios are set up in the pump by like the diabetes team when I got the pump, and I just realized I have like blocks of time. I'll show you them now with different ratios throughout the day. So from like 7 to 11 is 1 unit of insulin for 14 grams of carbs. Then from 11 till 3 is 1 unit of insulin to 9.5. And I just think that's a bit, I think I might be going low from after that, so I think I'm going to try and bring that up. So I'm going to show you that now on the pump. It's only from like paying close attention that I've discovered these things. Right, so this is if you want to see carb ratios, so these are set up when you do your pump training. So you go settings, delivery, bolus wizard, carb ratio, and they're my blocks of time. And I just feel that this one, 3 is fine. I just want to bring that up a little bit. So 1 unit of insulin for every 10 grams of carbs. Now, if I'm going high, again, I can change that. So you can see from 11 to 3, it's that. And then from 3 to 8, it's 12. So 1 unit of insulin for every 10 grams of carbs now instead of every 9.5. We'll see if that helps, because I feel like I was just on the lower end after lunch. Anyway, I've already taken it with the old ratio for my lunch now for my bagel, but for the future. Hey guys, I want to show you how well this is working. So really good blood sugar and the time in range, 100%. So this is the 9th of May and a Friday, and I'm very, very happy with that. Woo! Okay, I'm getting on the bike this morning. Blood sugar is 7.6 and dropping. I have taken off my pump as I like to do for the bike because I find you get so sweaty. I don't like having the pump on me, which is fine because you can take off your pump for exercise if you want, or you can leave it on. I have put myself into temp target. You can't see it there because I've just suspended, but temp target, I've been doing what I've been saying. I've been pre-bolusing for breakfast and then setting the temp target immediately after, because I do this about 2 hours after breakfast once a week. So I'm ready for the bike. So let's go to the bike and I'll show you my time in range for today. Woo woo woo. This is week 2 anyway, so you'll be getting a big update anyway at the end of each week. So 96%, let's go on the bike. Warm up, we need to bring our heart rate up. We need to get the muscles ready to go. We need to focus on the form so we can maintain that. Okay, here's just some of the foods I had. So for lunch I was having about 2 wraps, which is 40 grams carbs. Then this is my dinner: fish, green beans, gratins, so that's how much carbs there. And then katsu curry as well. This probably one was about 30 for the rice, 20 for the chicken, and then some for the sauce, so maybe 60 grams. Starting off week 3, I was a little bit less time in range. I was in the 80s, but still okay. And I got my pre-bolus just perfect for the morning. So I was in work a lot this week, so I had to bring in some lunch with me. So I made these sandwiches. So these are the Char hamburgers. You can see the carb counts on the packet there. They're really handy to bring in for lunch. And I just bring a few other things like a banana, crisps. I can work out the carbs for them all. Usually it's around like 40 grams. Hey everyone, it's week 3, end of week 3, and I want to give a bit of an update. So current time in range, 87%. This week has been hard because I had a really, really tough week in work. So it's been hard to eat well and not get stressed, and stress for me anyway raises blood sugars. So I'll show you now in a few clips. There's been a few times this week where I haven't had as good time in range. Like I feel like all of last week I was in the 90s. I'm 87 now, which is not too bad, but I'm definitely been on the lower end, which is kind of annoying. So I haven't been too bad. I've been like 70 something, definitely 70 plus time in range, but no more than 76 I'd say a few of the days. Like I said, it's to do with being in work, long hours this week, long days, lots of stress with what's going on, and not really having the time to focus on the diabetes, which is the whole point of this video, is to look back at it again. So it's a bit stressful and annoying. And also eating, because I've been working so long, just want to eat crap after work. I don't want to go cooking healthy things and be hungry. So I had some lovely gluten-free banana bread that I made, and it was delicious, but like it so spikes the blood sugar. It's so bad for you really, because you get the initial carbs, but then there's so much fat in it that the fat breaks down later on, and then your blood sugar just going high and high. So I've been trying to stay away from foods like that before, but it's been hard this week, and definitely more just pastas and like things more fattier things that break down over longer time. more fattier things that break down over a longer time and push the blood sugar up. So that has definitely been happening, and I feel like now I've got to the end of the week, I want to treat myself as well. So the middle week has been hard. It's hard when life is going on at the same time to just completely focus on diabetes. So I'll try to get back to it next week. I think I need to change my ratio for dinner because I've been going low, I noticed, after dinner a lot. So we're going to change that now. Remember we were looking at the time blocks before. The current time block from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. and then it goes much higher is 1 unit of insulin for every 12 grams of carbs. I'm just going to push that up a little bit. I want to do 14, 1 unit of insulin for every 14 grams, but I'm going to do 13 just to be safe. I almost feel like I could add another time block in there. I feel like, because when I get, it goes from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m, 1 unit of insulin to 13 grams of carbs. Then it goes from 8 p.m. to 12, 1 unit of insulin to 8 grams of carbs. There's such a difference there because I used to go really, really high at nighttime. I'm not sure that's right, but we're going to save that now, and I can always change it again next week if I want to. I'll give it like a day or two to see if that even works, and we'll go from there. Other things, I've definitely been keeping up the exercise, so that's going good. And Lana got fried. And pre-bolusing at breakfast, I think I've got it down to a T. So basically take the insulin, immediately put on the temp target and let it just come down, and that's really helped. So hopefully I'll be a bit more back in plan next week. And there's 5 weeks in May, so there'll be week 4 and week 5 review at the end of it. I'll give you some of my meals again during the week. Yeah, I had lots of different meals this week. I hope you liked some of them. Let me know if you have any questions on them. I'll try to give the carb counts if I remember, and I'll see you guys for week 4. Hey everyone, it's time to do this week's update. I can't remember what week it is, so it's either 3 or 4. I can't remember, but anyway, let's do the update. So I hope y'all can see that 98% in range. So I've been doing much better this week. So oh my god, I got a tunnel for Lana. She's running through it. She's so funny, like an agility tunnel. I'll show you in a minute. So my meals, I've been trying much healthier, like better meals this week, and again, not low carb, just not full of like lots of fat. So I had like this rice dish that was really, really nice here, like almonds on top, like a stir fry with sesame oil. Really, really nice. Now I didn't do as good as the first weeks, so there was an ice cream van in work and I just couldn't say no. Now it sent me absolutely through the roof because basically I went to get the ice cream, I got the ice cream, and I didn't take my insulin until right there and then with the ice cream. So missing the pre-bolus really messed me up. My blood sugar went to like 14 for like 2 hours. Obviously my pump was correcting, but it just took time to get it back down because the pump didn't know that I was just about to eat a load of ice cream and not pre-bolus. So that's why I went high. So my time in range was a bit down, and then one of the other days, I don't remember what happened, my time in range was like 80, which isn't too bad at all, but I'm really trying to be in the 90s for this video. So honestly, May is nearly over. There's 1 full week left, so we'll be doing the final review at the end of next week. So I'm trying to think of what happened. Like, that ice cream killed me. That was like one of those 99 Mr. Whippy things from the ice cream van. I feel like having like an ice pop where I know the carbs, like the Dracula ones that I like is 9 grams of carbs, is okay, and it doesn't send my blood sugar through the roof. So like, and like there was so much sweets in work this week, so I've saved them now till the weekend. This weekend might throw me off a bit because my boyfriend's away, so I'm just on my own, and I do want to treat myself to a pizza, and pizza is like catastrophic for blood sugars, but I'm trying really, really hard for the rest of the week before Saturday to eat really well. So yeah, I'll show you some of my other meals. Like, everything is really good when you weigh it out. So this is katsu curry, weighed out portion of rice. I had like this really, really nice sandwich, and I carb counted. Carb counting properly, weighing food is a key. Pre-bolusing is a huge factor. Like, I could see that with the ice cream. When I didn't pre-bolus, I was screwed. And what else? Just eating okay and doing lots of exercise. So I've been trying to do lots of exercise. Setting the temp target after breakfast has changed my life. So remember at the start, I didn't know what to do, and I was like going high and then going low. So my key is pre-bolus, take the insulin for the carb counts at breakfast, which is cereal, immediately set the temp target. I will get a bit of a spike, but it will come down to a normal level and auto corrections won't kick in and make me low. So that's been also huge this month. Anyway, we'll do a full review at the end of next week. So let me show you Lana's tunnel. Come over here, we show them your tunnel. and things are going good. Hasn't been as good as the first week, but it's been much better than last week. Come on, show everyone your tunnel. Okay, give me your toy. Show them your tunnel. So that's Lana's tunnel there. Hello. I thought that the last week would be going brilliantly, but sure, this is how it is. So I think I have a bit of hay fever as well. Really bad. Anyway, my blood sugar is 11. So as you can see, I'm a bit out of range, and I am 87% time in range. It did just give me an auto correction. I did have temp target on. That's why it's 11, because I was doing my breakfast pre-bolus thing. I think it's because I had a really bad night's sleep last night. I only had, I'd say, 2 hours sleep, hence why I look like this. And I can really see how the sleep is affecting the blood sugars. Now hopefully that auto correction that it gave me, 1.65 units, will help bring me down a lot. But like, I did the same thing as I did yesterday and I'm high, and the only difference in the last day is that I had no sleep last night. So I thought that was important to highlight on here, that, and I have known that from before, that sleep can definitely affect blood sugars, quality of sleep. Possibly as well, hay fever. I was doing fine, but there's a lot of pollen at the moment. So yeah, I hope the rest of the week will be better, but I just want to flag these things because so many things affect diabetes, not just food, that may be sleep and potentially hay fever as well. So hopefully the rest of the week could be better, but I'm still 87% time range, so not too bad. The new data, so we're looking at A and B. So A is obviously the one we want to look at now, and B is last month. So just to give you an idea of last month, the time in range was 85, and how well did I do? I improved it by 1%. So I don't know what you want to count that as. I guess it's still an improvement, but for me it's kind of just a maintenance of the same. And I don't know if you want to look at A versus B. There's some more data there if anyone wants to pause and have a look. I'm not going to look into that. So I don't feel like being on the camera now. So, all right, I had a terrible last week, and I'm just not feeling mentally and physically good enough to be on the camera. I think I would have had a way higher time in range if I didn't have the last week the way it's been. So basically, physically been unwell, and the time in range was in, well, overall you can see it's 86 for the month, but for the week, the last week, week 4, it's been as low as 20%. So I have not been feeling good about it. There's my graph if you want to have a look at that as well. So yeah, mentally and physically I'm not feeling good. Physically, there's some health stuff going on, and it's making the time in range really bad, and in turn that's making me really stressed about the diabetes. It's a very bad loop. So the things I did learn from this video, I did, even though I didn't really improve my time range, I guess I did by 1%, so we'll count that as a 1% win. The things I learned how to correctly pre-bolus, because I was always not pre-bolusing on time and I was doing it wrong at breakfast. So for breakfast, I need to count my carbs. I need to pre-bolus at least 15 minutes, if not 20. Then I need to put on temp target. I'll get a rise, but then my insulin will kick in eventually, and then I'll level out. For some reason, it takes ages for my insulin to work in the morning. I don't know why. And then I get the auto corrections, and that's what was making me low. So one huge thing I've taken from this is I've learned to correctly pre-bolus at breakfast. I've learned to pre-bolus better. I've been setting my temp target better. And overall, I think those are things I can take from this month-long challenge that will definitely help me going on. I am disappointed I only improved by 1%, but my week 4 was, and right now where I am, is absolutely terrible time in range, because I'm just not well, and I think that it's contributing to a bit of burnout. So I'm not very happy about that, and I don't know what you'll think of this video in the end. I'm kind of disappointed by the ending, but I hope that it helps some people. I did learn a few things that I'm really happy about, so at least that. So thank you so much for watching. Sorry it wasn't a better outcome. Overall, we improved by 1%, but thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you all in the next video.